Jalen Brunson keeps doing something in the playoffs that no New York Knick has ever done. Not Patrick Ewing, not Willis Reed, not Carmelo, not Bernard King. Nobody. And on Wednesday night, he did it again in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, with the season's biggest moment on the line. So tonight, before Game 2, let's open the resume of the man they call Captain Clutch and show you exactly why that nickname is math, not marketing. 6'2", unathletic by NBA standards, allegedly, passed over by half the league on draft night, and right now, he is quietly building one of the most ruthless playoff scoring resumes in the history of one of the league's oldest franchises, the captain of the New York Knicks. Let's go through the receipts. This is Game is Culture. Real quick before we get into it, if you like breakdowns that actually show the math instead of just yelling takes at you, go hit subscribe. It's free and it genuinely helps, so click it. First, the record. The one no Knick ever touched. 30-point playoff games in a Knicks uniform. Jalen Brunson now has 27 of them. Patrick Ewing, the franchise icon who played 15 seasons here, finished with 18. Willis Reed, the captain of both title teams, 12. Carmelo and Bernard King, 10 each. Brunson passed every legend this franchise ever produced, and then lapped them in 4 seasons. Sit with that list for a second. Ewing dragged this franchise to a finals. Reed has a retired number and the most famous entrance in basketball history. Bernard King's playoff scoring runs are legend. And a 6'2" guard who arrived in free agency 4 years ago has more 30-point playoff nights than any of them. Streaks don't last 4 seasons. At this point, it's simply who he is. A historical anomaly wearing a captain's badge. And the full career number is even bigger. 30 career playoff games with 30 or more points once you add his Dallas years. 30 separate postseason nights where the lights got brightest and he went for 30 plus. Players build entire Hall of Fame cases on a fraction of that. He's done it before his 30th birthday. Now add what he's doing right now in these playoffs. 27.1 points per game across this entire postseason. Top 3 among every player still standing or already eliminated. 15 games of carrying the league's #1 playoff offense through the league's toughest bracket. And he's doing it while opponents build their entire defensive game plan around stopping exactly him every single night. Then came Wednesday, Game 1 of the NBA Finals, on the road against the best rim protector alive. 30 points. And not quietly. With the game hanging in the balance late, Brunson closed it. The headlines the next morning didn't argue about it. Captain Clutch, late game heroics, Knicks steal Game 1. His 30th 30-point playoff game, saved for the final stage. So what actually makes him clutch? Open the hood and you find mechanics. 3 things over and over. The footwork, because nobody at his size creates separation in the mid-range like he does. No screen required. The pace, because he plays the last 5 minutes at the exact same speed as the first 5, while everyone else speeds up. And the free throws, because when defenses finally foul out of desperation, he doesn't blink. Skill, calm, conversion. That's the whole recipe. And here's the part that should worry San Antonio specifically. Brunson's whole game is built for playoff basketball. When the whistles tighten and the schemes get smarter, athleticism fades and craft survives. Around 80% of his buckets are self-created. No screens, no lobs, no transition gifts. Just a man, the ball, and footwork that's been sharpened since grade school. You can't scheme that away. You can only survive it. Real quick though, if you've made it this far, you've really gotta hit subscribe. I'm not going to beg, but I am going to ask. So hit it, and I'll wait. Now, what does the resume mean for tonight? It means the Spurs' entire Game 2 plan starts with one question. What do you do about him? Trap him, and Towns and the shooters feast on 4-on-3. Switch, and he hunts the big man in the mid-range, which is exactly how Game 1 died. Drop, and he walks into his pull-up all night. Every answer opens a different wound. That's what 27 career 30-point nights in this uniform buys you. There is no good plan. and the stakes amplify everything. If Brunson delivers another 30 tonight, the Knicks likely go home up 2-0, and the captain's legend graduates from franchise history into NBA history. A 2-0 finals lead built on back-to-back road 30s would put his name in conversations this fanbase hasn't gotten to have in 53 years. And remember where this resume came from, because nobody saw it coming. Jalen Brunson was the 33rd pick in his draft, second round. Every team in the league passed on him at least once, most of them twice. The scouting reports all said the same thing. Too small, too slow, no athletic upside. The footwork was treated like a college trick that wouldn't survive NBA length. 27 franchise record playoff nights later, that scouting report reads like a comedy script. But the winning was always there, hiding in plain sight. 2 national championships at Villanova. A college resume built entirely on big games, smart decisions, and total calm in chaos. The traits that don't show up at a combine are exactly the ones that show up in June. Teams measured his vertical. They should have measured his pulse. And there's a bloodline detail that makes New York love him even more. His father, Rick Brunson, was an NBA journeyman who wore a Knicks uniform himself. Jalen grew up around this franchise, watched its heartbreaks from the inside, and chose to come here anyway. For the Brunsons, the captaincy is the family business, finally getting its payoff. So when you stack the arc end to end, second round pick, bet on himself, franchise playoff record, finals closer, it reads less like a career and more like a heist movie. The league had a generation of chances to keep this from happening. Tonight, in San Antonio, the whole NBA gets another reminder of what everybody missed. And the resume comes with an Iron Man clause. Brunson is averaging over 36 minutes a night this postseason, carrying the league's heaviest offensive load deep into June without missing a beat. The knock on small guards is that the playoffs wear them down. 15 games in, he's getting stronger. The fourth quarters keep arriving, and he keeps being there for all of them. San Antonio tried nearly everything in Game 1. Length on the perimeter, walls at the rim, late switches with Wembanyama lurking, 30 points anyway. That's the resume in real time. The Spurs have plenty of defenders, and plenty of pride, but 27 franchise record nights don't happen to players with an obvious answer attached. If there were a fix, someone in the last 4 playoff runs would have found it. Now the honest other side, because every resume has one. Game 1's 30 came on 31 shots. That is a lot of bullets for 30 points, and the Spurs defense deserves credit for making every single one of them hard. If San Antonio tightens the ball pressure and finally gets its own offense going, volume scoring stops being heroic and starts being a liability. There's a version of tonight where 30 on 31 is exactly what the Spurs want. And clutch resumes are living documents. One ice-cold fourth quarter in a finals loss, and the same talking heads who crowned him will sharpen their knives. That's the deal with the nickname. Captain Clutch isn't a trophy you keep. It's a title you defend every single night of June. Tonight is the next defense. So I'm gonna leave it with you. Does Captain Clutch walk into San Antonio tonight and drop number 31, putting New York 2 wins from immortality? Or do the Spurs finally write the chapter where the resume cracks? Either way, you're watching one of the great playoff scorers in Knicks history at the absolute peak of his powers. Don't miss it. So tell me down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe. We're in a race to 1,000 subscribers, so please join the family.